there's probably hits on me. Like, let's get rid of this guy. But then, you know, someone might go, hey, boss, but he is pushing space a lot with that 10th planet jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You might want to leave him alone. It balances out. You know what I mean? So most conspiracy theorists start with the government's hiding UFOs. That's the conspiracy. And then you realize, like, that's what they want you to think. They want you to think that the government they want you to believe in UFOs. They never censor UFO stuff.
What was a loss of yours that really stuck with you the most?
The biggest one was Leo Vieira when he kicked my ass. Not only did I win, but I also won most technical fighter of the night.
Nice.
And he noticed that shit. And he says this in an interview. So for 6 months, he was training for me.
Oh, wow.
So he was worried about me. My reign only lasted 45 minutes. I walked out and it's in Sao Paulo. And Leo Vieira is sitting yoga style, full lotus. He's like, he's going, he's doing like the Hickson breathing. Going, I don't know what he's saying. He's like, oh, the what, the shit, the what, the sat there, what, he goes, the what, and Leo's like, they're like really preparing for me. And I'm walking out going, that is so unnecessary. Like, you're about to fuck me up. I owe Joe so much, man. I needed a hernia surgery in the very beginning. The first year of jiu-jitsu, I got a hernia. And I didn't have any medical or anything. He paid for all that shit cash, you know, and I'll never forget that. I always have Joe's back, you know, no matter what. We've butted heads over the years a few times, you know what I mean? But he's my brother. I love him to death. I owe him so much.
The bond is strong, even though when when the core bond is there, even though you will butt heads sometimes, you know exactly where it's going to end up anyway, bro.
Yeah. You know.
Have you tried Medwach yet?
What is that?
It's like pure tobacco with no chemicals, and it'll buzz you out for 10 seconds, and then you're back to normal again.
I'm down.
Bro, you know what? That itself, forget the podcast. This is an epic moment for me to be sitting with Eddie and watching him hit the doha is like the best.
And so what do I do?
So just
No, never.
Like puff, inhale, hold it, puff, inhale, take 2 or 3 puffs. And then, take another one now while that's still in there. Light it. You're feeling it, yeah? It's nice.
Is it like the highest quality tobacco or something?
No, it's like 0 chemicals in it. So it's just pure tobacco. And it gives you a quick 10-second buzz and then back to life.
Ooh. Nice head buzz.
Dude, I've got, obviously you're a smoker, so it's not going to affect you as much. But I've got pictures, like a collage of pictures of my friends at the airport.
Yeah.
Just lying on the floor, passed out from smoking this shit, bro. I have a whole collage. Are you feeling it?
Yeah. It's good. I like it.
It's good.
Pure tobacco, no chemicals.
You know, this is a really dope for me because you guys are like the old guard of podcasts, right?
Not really.
I mean, who else was before you guys?
Tom Green.
No, but Tom Green, he's like...
I was there when Joe did Tom Green. We drove up together. I was there on the side, and Joe, the whole drive back. Are we rolling? We rolling all right?
Rolling from the beginning,
yeah. I was there when Joe did that podcast with Tom Green. It was up in the Hollywood Hills. And the whole drive back, Joe was like, yo, that is such a great idea. What a great idea. You don't have to deal with any producers or networks or nothing. That's what dropped the seed right there.
Eddie, we started rolling.
Yeah,
it's an honor and a pleasure to have you here, brother.
Well, thank you for having me.
Like we were just saying, literally, you guys are, I mean, you might not think so, but you're the old guard for us who started watching podcasts, who were watching Joe in the beginning while he was promoting Fleshlights in the little studio and stuff like that, right? It was,
on a laptop.
Yeah, and to see where it's come from then, it's incredible.
Yeah. Nobody expected that. Yeah.
How was it like? You must have some wild stories from the beginning days when you guys were just there in a little room and shit, right?
Wild stories. I barely remember. I never go back and watch the podcast again. I rarely watch a podcast that I was in back.
Yeah.
I rarely do that.
Yeah.
Same thing with like EBIs and Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds. Because I'm there. I'm reffing and I'm there and I rarely go back and watch them again.
I think we'll leave the pandemics and the rest of the conspiracies for a bit later, because there's a couple of things I want to topic. And one of them is like, one of the reasons why we all love you is yesterday when I was like, Eddie, let's do an episode tomorrow. And you were like, we're just going to talk about jiu-jitsu, or we're going to talk about some conspiracies. And I was like, yes, that's exactly what we want to do. You were like, are we going to talk about jiu-jitsu, or are we going to talk about conspiracies?
Oh, okay. It's not like I want to talk about conspiracies.
No, yeah, you do, and you should, and it's good.
Like, I've done it enough. You know what I mean? Like, really, I don't really do that many podcasts.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
that's
I've done my work.
Yeah.
I put in my time. Now it's time for the other. There's so many other conspiracy theorists now. I'm no longer needed.
No,
you know
but I mean, you're still first of all, let's talk about last night, because I want to get your view on the event itself. On the Quintet 5, what you felt about it?
I loved it. The production quality was insane. I love that. I was like, it looks fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the team aspect. I run team duels. I call them team duels, not quintets, because I don't want to like get sued or anything like that. I don't want to piss anybody off. I love Sakuraba. I didn't want to we just call them team duels. I run them all the time. I do that for pure pleasure.
Yeah.
We do them at my gym. I'll just tell one of my guys, I say, hey, let's do on this day, let's do a purple belt quintet. So we just, within ourselves, it's like 10th Planet Covina versus 10th Planet San Diego versus 10th Planet, Pasadena versus 10th Planet HQ. We just had an 18 team duel like less than a month ago.
Is this behind closed doors or televised? Or I mean,
no, it's online. I put it online. I put it on my YouTube. Yeah. But it's just for pleasure. We've had 10th Planet.
Oh yeah, in the last one, right? You were Quintet 4, I think it was.
A couple of them. We had a girl one. We had a couple men teams, boy teams.
Boy teams. Yeah.
We've done Quintet with Saku in Japan a few times already. Yeah. We won the first one.
Nice.
And then the girls, we won the girl one too. And it's also so much has happened over the last 10 years. It's hard to remember everything.
Everything, right? I mean, it brings me back to the previous questions and stuff because I mean, again, I know you've said it a million times. You can check that, it's no problem. But the whole 10th Planet, even the name itself, was that part of your researching and all of that stuff? Because I'm assuming it
was,
Planet X, Nibiru, that kind of thing.
I don't know where you're at with conspiracy theories, but most conspiracy theorists start with the government's hiding UFOs. Yeah. That's the conspiracy. And then you realize that's what they want you to think. They want you to think that the government they want you to believe in UFOs. Yeah. They never censor UFO stuff. You could talk about all the UFO stuff, and you could have government officials coming out, whistleblowers. They're not going to ban nothing. And then you start to realize, then Bill Cooper, he's the godfather of conspiracies, and he's the one who realized, damn, they set people up. They set him up. So what they do is, like with Bob Lazar, they want people. They take dudes with big mouths that are alcoholics. Then you realize, that they set them up. Like they'll take a guy in, they'll come in. They want people to believe in UFOs because the grand conspiracy is a one world government.
The new world order.
They want one world. The elite are always working. Yeah. How do we get this one world government together? And that the fake alien invasion, that's the one that's going to get everyone together.
You think with holograms or with
probably,
because it's getting crazy now.
Yeah. So now I realize, oh shit, they tricked me. Like they get like Bob Lazar, they bring him in. This is just my guess. Yeah. This is how they did. This is what Bill Cooper said. They did it to him too. Like Bill Cooper was working for naval intelligence, and his job was to put together organized documents for top secret meetings with these admirals, and they, and he would look at these documents, and they were talking about UFOs, and they were going to discuss UFOs. So they set him up.
Yeah, they
so then he's like, oh,
breadcrumbs around the place for him to
so
pick
then
up on,
he goes and tells everybody, yo, UFOs are real. That's what they wanted to do. It's like Bob Lazar, they bring him in, hey, don't go in that room. They brought him in Area 51 or whatever. Don't go in that room. We'll be right back. And then he goes into the next room, and then he sees he saw a craft.
But there's bits of truth in it, like the element that he found or whatever. That was element. What was it called? There was a special something that he found that turns out 10 years later it did exist and all that. So there's always some truth in what they're saying, which kind of makes you.
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
it's a bit
that
confusing.
doesn't mean there's UFOs though.
Do you believe there is or there isn't any UFOs?
I believe that there's a strong possibility that there's land that we don't know. They're hiding land from us, and there might be other civilizations and other lands that way. I think outer space is that way, not that way. It's not up.
Over the ice wall.
That way, way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there could be craft coming from those areas, you know, but the whole space, the grays and all that. And I don't, if the government's allowing it and they're pushing it, I don't believe it now.
Yeah.
So back to your original question, 10th Planet Jiu Jitsu, that comes from the time where I bought the whole UFO conspiracy hook, line, and sinker. So that's really what it's about.
Yeah, Planet X.
Yeah. Zachariah Sitchin was a biblical scholar who transcribed the ancient Sumerian texts, and he's saying that these are all stories of an alien race on a 10th planet called Nibiru.
Nibiru,
And then they came to our to Earth
and
to mine gold, and so that they could turn the gold into like gold dust to protect their atmosphere of the 10th planet. And they're far superior to us. They created us as slaves. So I bought that story, hook, line, and sinker. But I would always read, they're like, yo, Zachariah Sitchin is getting paid by Rockefellers. He's in the Rockefeller building. This is a psyop. And I'm like, no. I was really, really into it. So now, at first, the 10th planet whole thing was like truth to me. You know, it was all about like, you know, there's American jiu-jitsu, Japanese jiu-jitsu, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Nibiru jiu-jitsu. That would be the best. Wouldn't that be the best?
Yeah.
So Joe, I was going to call it Nibiru jiu-jitsu, and Joe's the one who said, why don't you just call it 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu? I'm like, that sounds stupid. And then a minute later or so, I'm like, wait a minute. That's it. It is 10th Planet. Joe's the one. It was going to be called Nibiru Jiu-Jitsu.
But I think whatever you did, it would have worked. Like if it was Nibiru right now, we would have been like, it was good. Joe told me 10th Planet, but I called it Nibiru, and look what Nibiru, do you know what I mean? So I think either way, it's because of it's like, it's co-signed by you, whatever it would have been, would have
So
worked.
now to me, it's like Death Star Jiu-Jitsu. It's like fiction.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, you know, Star Wars jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I mean, it works, and you guys are different to everyone else.
Yeah,
so.
and it probably protects me a little bit too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I talked a lot of shit over the, you know, about politics and the Clintons and the Bushes and 9/11. I bet
you say a lot of shit though, but
like there's probably hits on me. Like, let's get rid of this guy. But then, you know, someone might go, hey, boss, but he is pushing space a lot with that 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. You might want to leave him alone. It balances out. You know what I mean? So maybe the 10th Planet whole space thing is the reason why I'm still alive.
Yeah, right? But is that something that you've ever had to seriously worry about with, like, thinking?
People get killed, man. Yeah.
And a lot of them seem to be dying in weird ways where one car crashes with nothing, just driving off.
In the
worries you about these electric cars and stuff.
When it was just like me, Alex Jones, and David Icke talking shit, and now all of a sudden I'm on the biggest podcast in the world, and I'm saying this shit, I would be worried driving home going, fuck, I fucked up. I'd be like looking over my shoulder. I go, damn, I wonder if they're going to come after me. But now there's so many conspiracy theorists out there that I kind of like, I'm irrelevant now. That's the way I want it.
Yo, guys, I've got to tell you, look, markets move faster than ever, and technology is rewriting the rules of finance. That's why people are turning to Minotaur trading systems. Look, they're not some faceless bot. They're a team of Australians, Brits, and Americans building powerful algorithmic systems that run 24/7, analyzing markets, spotting opportunities, and executing trades with precision. Look, at the end of the day, with algorithms, they don't panic, they don't hesitate, they don't rely on luck. And with Minotaur, you never ever hand over your money. The system runs inside your own exchange, under your control, so you keep full custody and 100% of the upside. You're not chasing trends, you're using automation that works for you, leaving emotions and guesswork behind. Guys, if you're serious about discipline, predictable income, scan the QR code or click the link to hear from real clients and book your free consultation. I've had Costa on the show and he's broke everything down. The episode's also there if you want some more information on it. Click the link. But I mean, it's a weird one because everyone's got something to say, right? So even Joe was big into conspiracies and moon landings and all that stuff, and then completely shifted the way he was talking and thinking. And everyone was like, they paid Joe, that's it, they bought him off. He's you know, they've done something to silence him. And that's my thing.
He's back on the moon though.
He's
now.
back, yeah,
he's back now.
Because look, the moon. You've seen funny thing happen on the way to the moon, right?
Yeah. I saw that with Joe. Like he's the one who showed it to me. Yeah.
I mean, this is the weird thing. It's like when they say stuff like, "You guys are crazy," I'm like, but there's so much fact and evidence that we're not. Like when you have rocks that you've got from the moon and you've sent them to other countries as gifts, and they found them out to have a letter C on them or something from they're props. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or petrified wood.
Yeah. And how does that look? Like what, again, are they so smart that they're just playing a game with us, or are they so stupid that they're not covering their tracks? Because they can't be, because they literally went to the moon in a Red Bull can with some Bunsen burners on the side of it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And it's like, the Van Allen belts, and you literally can't, right? Yeah. You can't.
I mean, if there really are Van Allen radiation belts, I mean, all that could be just.
But look, America, right? America never does anything once and always wants to be on top. It's just the way they are. Mm-hmm. Look at us, we're the best. We do this the best. I fail to see how the moon wouldn't be a holiday destination by now.
Yeah.
If they hadn't found a way to get there.
And they destroyed all the technology.
And, not just technology. I mean, technology, someone farted and it would have fallen over. That's not my thing. Is conveniently, all of the tapes and recordings and everything, somebody recorded over it.
Yeah.
Now, I've had a few birthday tapes recorded over, not that important, but you'd like to think that if you record over one of the most significant things in the history of Earth, it would be a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And not just when somebody pointed out, where are they? Then you'd be like, oh, it's been recorded over. It would be a major thing, right?
Yeah. It was so frustrating trying to convince people of like the moon landing, for instance, that no matter what you would tell people, no matter what you would show them, they just weren't getting it. And I didn't know what it was. I mean, I just thought, it's like they're in a trance. That's what I would say. I wouldn't call anybody idiots or anything like that. They're real smart people, but
that's the problem.
They couldn't absorb the facts. So I thought it's like they're in a trance. And then it turns out that there's a mass formation hypnosis or mass hypnosis formation or whatever the hell it's called. It's a real thing. Mass hypnosis. I'm going, I just figured it's like people are in a trance, and they literally are in a trance. It's like a fact now.
It's weird. Yeah.
They seem awake. But they're actually asleep.
It's weird just because, like, I have such a range of conversations with my brother, and he's older than me by 10 years, and he's not a stupid guy.
Yeah.
And there's so many things that we do agree on. But then when he says stuff to me and he just looks at me in my face and basically says, you're an idiot if you believe they didn't go to the moon. Why would they lie? And it's like, how can you be so on point and smart with some things?
Yeah.
But then completely not with the others. To me, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But how did he get hypnotized and I didn't?
Doesn't work on everybody. When those hypnotist shows,
spazzy white belt, bro. They can't hypnotize us. We're too shifty, man.
Like when you go to when a hypnotist performs and he does a show, before the show, he goes to the audience and figures out who's hypnotizable and who's not. They got to figure it out. It's almost like 20-30% of people are hypnotizable, and then the others aren't. So they find the guys. So then when they start the show, they use the guys that they could hypnotize. Yeah, not everybody can be hypnotized.
That's another one that I find is weird as well. It's like, I mean, look, you got people like Darren Brown who have done
I don't know
certain
him.
things. So Darren Brown, he's an English. He doesn't call himself a mentalist. I think they call themselves.
Okay, yeah. And the guy that was on Joe Rogan, that guy that.
Maybe he's been on.
There's been a mentalist.
But he does things like, for example, he'll know, okay, Eddie's here. What I'm going to do is, on the way to the studio, I'm going to put a giant billboard on Sheikh Zayed Road with a picture of a pink bear on it, right? And then on another T-shirt that he sees, it's going to have the word bear and pink. And he sets it up. So you could see how that happens with the advertising and the marketing on the way, where if for some reason you hear pink bear, you do some wild shit. right? Because he's been working you into it.
Yeah.
But that whole just sitting down and sleep.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, man.
Some people, it's possible. That's
really
real. Hypnotism is real, but it doesn't work on everybody.
I mean, it's definitely real because if you see how the world is now, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
None of it does.
Yeah.
Like how
people are walking around like zombies
all the time.
Yeah.
And like, again, it is certain people even people, because you like to think you choose your circle well, right?
Yeah.
And then you get certain people in your circle and you're like, how are you not agreeing with me on this? And not just how are you not agreeing, how is this not total common sense to you? Like, even if you don't take any of my facts.
Yeah.
Like, for example, let's talk about flat earth, right? I'm on a side where, and with all conspiracies, I'm on a, you know, when somebody steals from you, and then he does it again, and then he does it again. The fourth time, it might not be him, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm kind of like that with a lot of things where, you know, they've lied so much to us that I wouldn't be surprised if all of it's true, right?
Yeah. That's common sense.
Yeah. So when it comes to the point of the whole, people are like, oh, satellites, and you got pictures and but when NASA themselves are saying, we CGI our photos, and there's no real, you might laugh at me, but fuck you. One of my circle, that's fucking dumb. When there's no real picture, apart from the big blue marble, that even that is CGI'd.
Yeah.
And the guy who did it said it in a video.
And they said, oh, but we got one picture that's real. It's the one we took when we were on the moon. I'm like, wait a minute, but you guys never went to the moon.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's all fake.
How? Who filmed you guys on the moon as well, right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where'd you get the camera crew?
The fact that it's even a debate.
Yeah.
Just that.
That's
just
nuts.
that. Wait a minute, it's a debate? Like, what? Like, you know what would kill the debate? There's all these flat earth, round earth debates. You know what would kill it? A picture of Earth from space would go boom. Yeah. But they can't do that. You can't just say, look, here's a picture. Look, here's a video.
I'll settle for that.
They got to talk about
even show
shadows.
Me. Yeah.
They got to talk. What about 800 years ago, Arathasisnes, whatever that fucking guy is. He had one stick in Syria, and then he had another stick in Jerusalem.
He was also shitting on the floor, covering it with sand, bro. So
how would they know? 500 miles apart, and they're talking about shadows. Like, that's your proof.
It's weird.
That's your proof
for me.
Sticks and shadows from 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, and then you got to use your eyes. I've never been on a plane and seen curvature.
Me neither.
And
but the windows are curved. Do you notice the windows are curved?
They do that on purpose. And then again, the nose should be dipping, but then the pilots say the nose is never dipping.
No,
so it's like
never dipping. You'd be flying right into space. You'd fly right into space. Like, why aren't they doing that?
It might sound stupid, but technically you could get in a helicopter, lift it up on the ground, and then land in a different place. But people are like, and you're an idiot for believing that.
There's a shit ton of military officers and people in the Navy. Yeah. They've all come forward. They go, we're not moving at all. Yeah. We're still. They're not spinning. There's no Coriolis effect they always talk about
with
the
Coriolis
effect
as well. Like the water, like if it's spinning that much, I'd be splashing shit everywhere, bro. It wouldn't be. Yeah. But again, it's just, I mean, look, why there's things like this. Why is there a treaty with every country in the world and us being inquisitive humans as we are, that no one's allowed to go over Antarctica? Why?
Because that's like
when have we ever agreed on anything? Those are the prison walls. When have we ever agreed on anything as a world?
Yeah.
When have everyone been like, okay, fine.
Can't let the slaves go over the wall. Yeah.
But never has all these countries agreed with each other. Yeah. But all of a sudden, there's a treaty that none of you are allowed there. Why?
Yeah.
Now again, I could be wrong. It could just be polar bears and penguins. But it would be nice to kind of go and look.
Yeah.
Why? You know, and why is there military bases there?
Yeah.
That only some places are allowed. So I think that ties into what you were saying about it might be those lot from the other side. Imagine how good their jiu-jitsu is.
10-planet jiu-jitsu.
Right?
Yeah.
I wonder if there are jiu-jitsu and stuff out there. Because it's weird. There's so many weird stuff. Even like I don't know how I feel about the Mandela effect. What's your views on that?
I don't know about that one. I don't know.
That Monopoly guy 100% had a monocle, dude, when I was growing up.
What was that?
The Monopoly guy, he 100% had a monocle. You know, in the game Monopoly?
Yeah.
And the Fruit of the Loom thing. Like some things, and Sinbad, I swear I saw that movie.
Yeah.
When he was the genie.
Yeah. Could that be a psyop though? Like they're like switch it all up? Because they could like scrub stuff from the internet and change things. Maybe they do that. Because sometimes, you know.
But we never had the internet. We're part of the original, I say originals, but we're the core lot who grew up, you know, in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah,
we had tapes
apparently
and stuff like that.
You know, there's theories that the internet has been around for a long time.
I
they just gave it to us.
Yeah, I believe that.
And the same thing with, think about like AI. Isn't it spooky when you could talk to AI and it sounds like a person?
Bro, you got to talk to my fucking videographer. He's having a relationship with his fucking Gemini, bro.
How come, like, how did we get to perfect AI?
In this much time.
How come we didn't have like dumb AI? Like you ask it a question and it goes, let me think about it. And then like, you could ask it any question.
0, 1, 1, 0.
Like there should have been like for at least a year or two where you ask AI a question and it takes 15 minutes to answer.
Yeah.
It takes 10 minutes to answer. But right away it sounds like a fucking person.
Yeah. And you know what the scary thing is? It's not a, this is what scares me. You'll be like, should I do this? And it will be like, sure, Eddie, that's a great idea. And blowing fire and, you know, smoke up your ass. And it's so nice to you. And it's like,
it's spooky.
Do you know what I mean?
It's spooky.
If it was like, AJ, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard, then I'd be like, this AI is on point because it, you know, it's telling me my idea is stupid.
Have you heard the conspiracy theory that we didn't create AI? AI was already here. We just rediscovered it.
Is that part of simulation theory or no?
Yep. It's simulation theory and flat Earth are the same thing. Okay. Yeah, it is a simulation. It's a flat simulation. And whoever created the simulation is God.
The architect.
Yeah. God is the guy. Whoever made, there's no way that there's a God and a creator of the simulation simultaneously. It's the same entity.
Yeah.
Whoever created this electromagnetic machine that we're in. We're in a machine. We're all machines. We're all nanobots. We're all electromagnetic machines. You know, so when you die, you have no more electricity. Dead means you're just flesh. Alive, we're like, we got like.
We're vibrating and the molecules and the.
Yep, like Santos Bonacci, you know who he is, right?
No.
Santos, but he's one of the most fascinating guys in the truth movement. Santos Bonacci. He said that, you know, there's, you know, the stars in the sky, you know, NASA says they're one thing. You know, then people say they're other things. Like, what are these billions of lights in the sky? And Santos Bonacci believes that there's billions of lights in the sky, billions of stars in the sky. There's billions of people. He believes that each star is a person.
Yeah, see that,
and we're connected, and that's what powers us. Like there's this wireless connection to the star, and when we die, we go back to our star. Like every star, like we're all stars.
That's literally Mufasa from Lion King, the great kings of the past, Simba.
Yeah.
It's like each one of them. Yeah. They were telling
that
us
makes
in
sense
Disney.
to me,
Yeah.
because those lights in the sky, they're like some electromagnetic luminaries. We're electromagnetic. Maybe we are. And then astrology is you know, you could talk all the shit you want on astrology, like, oh, that's stripper shit. You know what I mean? But it's pretty fascinating that, like music, you know, there's 12 notes in music, and each note in the scale has its own family that it harmonizes with. And there's other notes that it doesn't. And then the next note has its own certain notes that harmonizes, and then there's other ones that don't harmonize. That's like how people are. And it seems like, you know, like the whole astrology thing, like Tauruses get along with Leos and Virgos.
100%.
And you know what? It's crazy. Like I got my little family, like all the people that are close to me, they're all the same. It's all the same notes. You know what I mean? There's 12 astrological signs. There's 12 notes in music.
100%.
12, something about 12. I don't know. I don't know.
And even like the frequency of every living thing, the 7.36 hertz and the Fibonacci spiral and stuff like that. It's like, it's so mathematically perfect that it can't be a fart in a galaxy and this stuff happened. It just can't.
Yeah, God created the simulation. And this is some kind of school / have you looked into the Little Season? No. You know what the little season, Satan's little season?
You better write all this shit down, bro, because I got some homework to do.
Yeah. I'm no biblical scholar by any means, but I do know a couple little things, you know, and if you believe in Jesus, you believe that one day he's coming back, right? He's coming back, and he's, you know, but there's if you look at certain parts of the Bible, like Revelations, for instance, it basically says Jesus already came back. He came back in the apostles' lifetime. He didn't say, there's nowhere in the Bible that he said he was coming back in 2,000 years. All the quotes in the Bible say Jesus is coming back in your lifetime. Be ready. So the theory is that, and I mean, there's a guy named Paul Stobbs. You could look him up. He's on YouTube. His YouTube channel is Understanding Conspiracies. And he's basically like a biblical scholar. And he's saying, look, just look at the Bible. Just boom, look at the Bible. Jesus already came back, had 1,000-year millennial reign, ruled for 1,000 years with the apostles. He made them kings. They ruled the world. And then after 1,000 years, and during the 1,000 years, they had Satan chained to hell in the lake of fire. So for 1,000 years, it was just like, that's all the Tartaria buildings and all the majestic cathedrals that we don't know how they built. They want us focused on the pyramids. Like, what about all these cathedrals and castles?
And not just that. What was that show that they did in America? That they did, and it was just for like one little piece of time, and the buildings that were built for it. It makes no sense that they built them in that time for that specific event.
So the little season explains Tartaria.
Yeah.
You know, these are all just
they're saying that Tartarians built them way back.
Before even before the little season conspiracy, there's, you know, the Tartarian thing. Like, what are all these structures all over the world? Wait, what is a castle doing in California? It wasn't that like cowboys and Indians and gold rush? Who built that shit? Who built all these structures along the West Coast? I thought it was like there was nothing there. Like there's unexplained majestic cathedrals and architecture all over the world. And they built that. They
made
built
in
that
stone and carved out of solid rock, not like we're doing here with
so,
like glass.
So the little season is Jesus came back within the apostles' lifetime, ruled for 1,000 years. That was the Tartarian kingdom. And then after 1,000 years, they let Satan loose to take over. Like we're in a testing, and that was like in the 1700s, like 1776, dog. The beginning of the United States. So that's the beginning of Satan taking over the nations. And it says it in Revelation.
And he's doing really well there, mate, right
Doesn't
now.
it feel like Satan's running the world? Doesn't it feel like it is? It feels like evil's running the world. And there's good pockets of good here and there. But overall, all the nations are run by evil. And that explains it. So we're in the little season. We're in the era of Satan, where Satan's controlling everything, and we're being tested. And look that up, man. It's fascinating. It explains the Tartarian, the
Tartarian dynasty is crazy. When you see the buildings and the monoliths and all of that.
So basically,
like, how did this?
They let Satan loose, and they've been covering up the 1,000-year millennial reign by Jesus Christ, and that's what they rewrote history, and history is just basically just all bullshit.
Man, history is his story, right? It's written by the victors.
Yeah.
So,
feels like Satan is running the world. That's what it feels like.
But you know, I feel like he lives in America, bro.
He lives in a lot of places.
Like his throne.
That's probably his
America,
main
right?
pad.
Right.
Washington,
that's where
D.C.
he goes most of the time.
And the Vatican too.
Dude, the Vatican's a wild place.
Yeah.
Again, this is my issue. If things were normal and people were normal, you wouldn't have these conspiracies. But when you have stuff like underground, like cities that are stocking up on certain scriptures and texts and all that stuff, it's like, if you didn't have that, I wouldn't question it, guys. Why are you doing these wild things?
Yeah.
Why are you building a telescope named Satan? Why are you like...
Yeah.
And it's like...
Scary shit.
That's what the problem is.
Yeah.
And then it's like, how do you not be wary of who's running the world or where the world's going when it's all this stuff in your face?
Yeah. There's a CIA whistleblower. Have you ever heard of him? Robert David Steele?
Yeah.
They killed him. He's dead.
No way.
But man, just listen to him. He goes off on who's running the world. And he's never talked about flat Earth, never talks about flat Earth, but he talks about NASA. He goes, oh, in our world, NASA stands for not a space agency.
Yeah.
He says that. He said it over and over. He goes, NASA is the #1 mind control agency. He didn't say nothing about flat Earth. He didn't say nothing about fake space. He just says that over and over again. He goes, NASA, because that's the biggest money laundry, because they get like $20 billion a year. And they don't have to show anything for it. It's just free money. What do they have to show for? They just have to get in front of a green screen, pretend that they're at a space station floating.
That stuff, the green screen.
The space station.
When that stuff's coming out.
Like all of a sudden, there's no footage at all of them building the space station and launching it. It's just there. It's just space station.
Again,
it's just.
But then you got bubbles in the videos, and you got a little mouse running across. It's like, wow, these
they
mice
have to
can
justify
survive
the money, so all space station shit. There's no space station. It's all fake. It's all green screen
again.
stuff.
Why can't we see any of these things? Why can't we see the satellites flying past? If there's that many of them,
it's not like there's no satellites floating. Satellites are real. They're on balloons. They're on balloons. They've always been on balloons. You know, from the there's footage. Military footage from like the 50s where they're showing big ass fucking helium balloons. Up, you know, you can see old footage, black and white footage. And then in the 60s, they decided, you know what? We could charge a shit ton if we tell them we're gonna launch them into space. So they became more expensive. So it was a way to make more money. So in the 60s, you developed satellites that didn't need balloons anymore. They could float in fucking space. Like, get the fuck out of here. But over, the decades,
60s.
people
Do you remember
figured
what
it
we
out.
had in the 80s? Do you remember the technology of do you remember the little Donkey Kong games, the flip ones?
Yeah.
And like, that's what we were dealing with. What are you talking about here?
Yeah. So now that people are figuring out that there's no satellites in space, they've always been on balloons. Now they're going back and say, you know what? The future of satellites are going to put them on balloons. Like, dude, they were always on balloons. So, but now they're pushing it like, this is what we're doing now. This is what we're doing now. They have like high level documentaries. Just look up Sataloons. Like they produce, they take you to the factory. They show you them building the balloons and launching them, satellites on balloons. This is the future. It's more economical and all that. Like, dude, you guys been doing this shit the whole time. There's no satellites floating in fucking space. They're on balloons.
It's wild. And again, it just comes back to me as like, look at the maps, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at the map, and again, some people are like, oh my God, you've been watching so much YouTube. But forget that. Let's just talk about weird facts. Why is the United Nations map and all of these maps around the place using the old map?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, why?
And how the fuck are you making maps in the 1500s? How do you make a map in the 1500s of like a country? Like, what'd you do? You get on a ship or like a boat and you make a map based on a boat?
No, he brings back his one. He brings back his map and we put them together and stuff.
Have you looked into airships and all the airships they've had?
No, well, as in the
blimps.
Yeah, the blimps, yeah.
Those are airships.
Original,
they're like...
They're doing it now again, no? Aren't they saying they're going to do another one now?
Are they?
They're saying they're...
But they had that before. Like, the story is that the Wright brothers discovered flight. No, like in 1902 or something.
Yeah, no, that's not true.
They always had airships. Yeah. They had to get rid of the airships. That's how they made the maps.
That's why that one burnt, right? What was that? What was that German?
The Hindenburg.
Hindenburg. Yeah. So
they wanted to
use
kill.
That to
they can't have people. They didn't want people up because people were staying up in the air for months. They were like living up there.
And they're definitely happy to, because look, we know about sacrifice, right? Yeah. So they're happy to sacrifice a few important people.
They're like, we can't have airships no more. But boss, people still got it. They got to travel and go. Okay, we'll put them in little fucking tubes and shoot them point A, point B. Yeah. No more vacations in the sky. Let's just get them point A, point B, and then no one. And then and everyone sleeps on planes. I sleep on planes. No one's like. Every now and then though, I look out the window. I'm like, God damn, this view. Yeah. Damn, we're up 35,000 feet. Look at this. You could see different cities. You could see this city's raining, and that city over there is clear. It's like you could see it from the view. Out of your plane. It's crazy.
Yeah. Do you know have you seen the different animals that used to be on the maps? That they used to have?
The griffin?
Just random animals that had no business being in that part of it. If that's all ice, why is there a map with camels there or whatever and all that stuff? So, and it's like, and then you think, are these guys making it up for no reason back then? So why are they just randomly just drawing a...
Yeah. And then the griffin... is like
that's a symbolic pagan thing, isn't it?
No, it's a Tartarian thing.
Tartarian, yeah.
But when Tartaria fell for whatever reason, the Russian logo is like smashing, like stepping on a griffin and crushing it.
Okay.
Like Russia took whoever ruled Russia, they erased Tartaria. Tartaria's on all the old maps, and all of a sudden you never hear about that shit in school. Like, what happened to Tartaria? It's all over maps.
Yeah, but school, I think school is made to kind of, again, like you were saying, to provide a narrative that they want you to learn. Right?
Henry Kissinger is for sure involved in like the highest level elite Illuminati Bilderberg type shit. Henry Kissinger, he has a book called, I think it's called The Order or World Order.
Great name for
it. Right? And it says it's either World Order or The Order. And the back of the book, or not the back of the book, but the backdrop, it's the front cover of the book is a map. And then it says World Order on it. But if you look at the map, right in the center, it says Tartaria. Right in your fucking face.
That's nuts.
What a coincidence,
look,
right?
If you don't want me to believe this shit, don't make weird random things like if you fold your banknotes in a certain way, you can see the Twin Towers fall. It's like, make fun of me.
Yeah.
But while you're making fun of me, just explain to me why this stuff is here.
Yeah.
Because I'm happy do you know what I mean? If none of that weird shit is happening, then I'm an idiot who's just, having fun with life and he likes conspiracies. Everybody likes a good conspiracy. But when you've got stuff like, what is the explanation? What is the reason for having these notes that if you fold every, $5, $10, $20 note in a certain way, it shows you first the Twin Towers, then them burning and halfway down, then them all the way down.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you don't want me to be an idiot, don't make random shit like this in your currency.
Yeah.
For me to spot and be like,
yeah.
So either it's a giant game and they're just laughing at us folding notes like arseholes, knowing that we're doing that. And there's a whole other thing that's happening they don't want us a part of. And they're just keeping us busy with this stuff, like busy work.
Yeah.
It's just strange to me. There's too many facts. What is that pilot, the very famous pilot that flew over Admiral Byrd? Was it Admiral Byrd? On one side, you're putting him up there as the most reliable and he's your guy, right?
Yeah.
You're representing him as your guy. This is the guy. But then when he comes back and says, I saw green lush lands and all that stuff there, all of a sudden he's a bit weird. That
disappears.
Guy, he disappears. Don't trust, it's like, he was your guy before.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very strange, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a beautiful world we live in.
It is, but how do you deal with, how do you navigate people going, Eddie's a nutcase?
I'm used to it.
Were you always used to it, or in the beginning? Because it must have been a bit weird. Because I've watched a couple of episodes with Joe and those guys where I'm just like, I'm loving this, and they're like, Eddie, and I'm like, now hold on a minute, you're not listening to what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally not listening to what he's saying. You've just kind of thrown it all up into, he's just going on one.
Yeah.
But he's making sense, though. And a lot of the stuff that you used to talk about came to light now and is actually happening.
I just guessed. I listened to Alex Jones and
Alex Jones must be hilarious. The one where you two are going back and forth. And Alex, once he starts going on a rant, that was one of the funniest clips I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're sending you to choke him out and stuff as well.
Yeah, I love Alex Jones. He's a good friend of mine.
But how does that work? Because again, you remember we were talking about this whole, someone might have a laser on me. Being in a circle with people like Alex Jones, David Icke, these kind of people, must be a bit of a kind of
I'm.
He's like, come over.
I'm retired. I'm retired. Illuminati. I'm retired. I really don't get to. You know what I found? I found that the people that get killed are the ones that are actively trying to put a case on somebody doing like illegal government shit, like the Clinton body count. Those were all the people that died in the Clinton body count. There were people that were actually trying to prosecute and try to, but if you just talk about it and don't like investigate and try to, go after them, they won't kill you. They don't have time to kill everybody. They'll kill you if you're trying to put if someone's trying to put them in jail, they're going to kill them for sure.
But that again takes some balls to try and go against what you think is.
I'm not going against anybody. I'm just talking about.
No,
it.
not
I'm
you.
not trying
but
to
I mean, for those people who are really thinking, like, what makes you think for a second you're going to win?
They just discover it and they don't know. They don't know the history and they don't know. So they think they're, well, you know what? We're going to, we got the evidence. We're going to go after them. Like, yo, you don't even know. You got to Google Clinton body count for a while and then to go through all that, then you'll reconsider. You know what I mean? That's how I feel when, over the last about 10 years, when you have all these new conspiracy theorists coming out, like, there's so many now talking, against the powers that be. I like, wow, look at them. They're all brave. They don't even know. But I don't say anything. Keep going. It's your turn. I broke down the doors and I'm done. I retired.
But there's always something weird happening now. You can't have a normal assassination anymore. And I know that sounds weird saying that. Do you know what I mean? But like, I mean, there was a few assassinations which were major, but usually it's been straightforward, right?
Yeah.
Then the most recent thing that happened, with Charlie Kirk is crazy as well.
The Epstein files are just the people are too powerful. No one's going to jail for shit. It seems like the people that have all the power, this is too much power. There's just, it's
like there's a game of chess like being played that we're not even allowed to watch.
They're untouchable.
But then again, that's why I kind of feel like it's kind of funny because they're now looking at me like a different person right now because they've never seen this side of me before. But it kind of feels like the Truman Show to me, where they're doing all this stuff and just like, let's see how these little rats play out. Like, like mice in a cage kind of thing. Let's see how they play with this and then what happens, how they react.
If I was Illuminati, I would definitely have like a country or a continent, big ass, gigantic piece of land that you don't tell the peasants about. Like, that's just natural. Of course. Why they don't have to know about all the land. There's so much land. Like maybe Greenland, who knows? Maybe Greenland is where that's where they live. And the rest of the world is like a reality show. So all the stuff with Trump and all the shit, they love it. It's a reality show. They watch it on their big screens.
Yo, guys, so everybody knows there's 2 days in a boat captain's life that are the best days ever. The day you buy the boat and the day you finally settle the boat. After fixing it, after doing all the maintenance, after scrubbing all those little barnacles off the bottom, it's a headache. But that's where the Captain's Club comes in. So they started this really cool club. All you do, you sign up for the year as a member, you call them up, you go on the app, you tell them I'm coming, the boat's ready, it's filled with petrol, you take all your friends out, you go out, have a laugh and come back. You don't have to worry about all of that monotonous stuff that comes with owning a boat. So, guys, if you want to pretend you've got a boat when you don't have a boat, but still have a boat, call the Captain's Club. Look what's happening. Like we're watching this on HD.
Yeah.
It's like before, I feel like when I was growing up, we had that kind of, that we were connected to the rest of the world, what was happening.
Yeah.
I feel like now it's not real. It's like we've been so desensitized that people don't think about it even anymore. Like I used to remember when shit used to happen back in the day when I was growing up, I'd come downstairs and my parents would be talking about shit that's happening in America or in Russia and oh, this is so unfortunate and blah, blah, blah. And they had feelings towards other human beings, even if it wasn't their group of people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like now that's not happening. Like, how can you be so blind to shit and desensitized?
So it's like they're trying to start World War III. Like they want everyone to notice what's going on. And then when everyone notices it, that's when people just had enough. And then there's World War III. And then that's supposedly prophesized. And that's what's happening. Because it seems like more than ever now, people are aware of what's going on. More than ever. You know, like the left. And you would think the left, they're generally batting 1,000 on retardation. You know what I mean? But they're right on that. Like, that's crazy. Like, how they're right on that. Like, holy shit.
A lot of it makes sense. But I think the weird thing to me is, like, maybe I've just been raised well, but all I want to do is just hang out with my friends and do my podcast.
Yeah.
Never do I think I want to take that guy's stuff. Like, never do I think I really want to fuck that guy up.
Yeah.
Like, just randomly or because he's
and
this.
you're a white belt, so.
Yeah. No, but I'm a spazzy white belt, so I'm dangerous as fuck, and you'll soon find out on that matter.
I'm just playing.
No, but like, never do I think that I want to, it's weird. It's like, what do you think it is about human nature that people want to be like that? Do you think that's a human nature thing, and that we generally are bad and we have to work to be good, or the other way around?
I think it's the other way around. I think we're good. Most people are good, but the bad people are way more motivated to control and rule than good people. Good people just want to have barbecues and go to the beach and go fishing and hang out with their family. Meanwhile, bad people, not as many of them, but they work way harder at power, control, and they're just like engulfed by their own greed, you know?
But the weird thing is I'd get it if we lived for 1,000 years, right? Then I'd be like, all right, got a bit of mission. You know, I'm going to be here for a while. Let me make the other 950 years easy for me and my family.
Yeah.
Right? But you're only here for 2.5 weeks, and then that's it. That's life done for you. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's very short.
Yeah.
It's not long enough to do that.
Yeah. I think ultimately good wins.
Yeah.
Because evil people they can't trust each other. You know, they're
still work together. That's the problem.
But they're backstabbing each other because they're evil. They can't trust it. They'll throw each other under the bus at the drop of a hat. You know, they're always crossing each other. And I think that's their downfall is you can't be loyal and evil at the same time. And good people are loyal. They'll die for each other. Like, you'll die for your family. That's why families or tight families are not good for the Illuminati. You know, they want people, they want separate the families. You know, they want people that have nothing to die for, no one to kill for. Those are the easiest people to control, in my opinion. You know, when you have someone who has kids and they have a family, their family is over all government. They'll kill
100%
for their family. They don't like that. That's not good. That's not good for the empire. It's best if everybody's single and no one has kids, and or they don't care about their kids. That's better they're easy to control those people.
I remember saying that to one of my guests on the podcast once. I was like, and we were talking about having kids, and I'm a really hands-on dad. So my kids are my everything in my life. And I remember saying, when they were born, that's where I understood I would kill someone.
Yeah.
Like, before, I would never want to, or I might think twice about it. Yeah, kind of thing. Like, I might let someone push it further than it should, because it's like, you know, but now it's not a question. Like, in my mind, you gotta go. You did the wrong thing to the wrong person, dude. Like, kind of thing. It's like that guy remember that karate instructor that was fiddling with this guy's kid, and then the police were taking him, and he came to the airport with the gun and just killed the guy. And he ended up getting off. Like, they didn't send him to jail. Because all the men out there were I would do the same.
When I used to take my son for a walk in the stroller, and he's like 1 or even younger, we'd go through the neighborhood, and there was this one house that had this Rottweiler. And it would always come out, and just as soon as we passed by, it'd always come to the fence and this Rottweiler. Always, every fucking time we passed by. And I really felt like I could grab his jaws and I could feel his teeth going into my hands and not feeling shit and just ripping his fucking head apart. with his jaw, you know? And I would feel that. I go, if this dog got any, like, threatened my son, I would rip that dog's jaw apart. And I could feel the teeth and I could feel it. And there you get those surges, you know what I'm talking about?
But there'd be no fear.
No fear.
Whatsoever,
There's no
right?
fear.
You'd be like, easy. Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be like,
Even sometimes when you're walking past without your son, you just look at that dog and you'd be like,
yeah.
You don't know how good you are.
Because not doing anything and not protecting your kid and letting your kid get killed or injured, that would hurt 1,000 times more than those teeth in my hands. Couldn't live with yourself. You'd hang yourself.
100%.
You'd just fucking hang yourself. How could you live with yourself if you didn't protect your kids with everything, with your life, you know?
Yeah, it's a wild one. And especially like, so my father passed away when I was 2. So I have no memory or any kind of tie or emotion. So I taught myself everything. How to be a man, how to figure things out. I'd be that kid seeing their dad pick them up from school and I'd be like, this is a bit shit kind of thing. So that even heightened the way I am with them, you know, to the point that like, I don't want them to miss anything.
Yeah.
Like not one practice.
My dad was barely around either. And I was afraid to have kids because I thought if like maybe, because I couldn't understand how he didn't give a shit about me. I was like, I thought maybe that was hereditary. It's in the blood. So I couldn't imagine having a kid and having my son think about me the way I think about my father. That would crush me. But I didn't realize that just even thinking that made, it made me, just even thinking that and dreading that right there, that should have made me realize that I would be a good father. But I thought I'd be a horrible father. I thought it'd be, and I'm not the best father or anything, but I love my son more than anything. And I tell him I love him every day, multiple times. I never leave the house without kissing him. And every time I see him, I kiss him and I tell him I love him multiple times. You know, and I never got I love you from my dad. And I thought I wouldn't, but thank God I was wrong. I'm like, oh my God, I thought I was afraid to have kids because I thought I would be a horrible father. And not have any emotions. I thought, what if I'm like my dad? And I'm nothing like my dad.
But it literally drove you to break the cycle and be
exactly.
the opposite.
Oh,
complete
the cycle has been, I can't tell my son I love him enough.
100%.
And the greatest thing is he says it back. He's 13 now, and he's always said it back with enthusiasm. He never goes, I love you, Dad. He's always like, 100%. I love you.
I still do that. Yeah, I still do the same with mine. And
that's the most important part.
He's 20. How old's Kyan now? He's 23.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was very athletic as a youngster.
Yeah.
And I had him when I was 19. So now he's like my boy.
Yeah.
I mean, even now I kiss him in front of his friends and tell him, and when he's getting off the phone, if he hangs up without saying it because he's around people, I call him back FaceTime. Tell me I love you.
Yeah.
Tell me and he'll say, and he really kind of like he knows
he likes
this guy. He's got me till the end.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing like a father to, even with my twins now, like they're.
You have twins?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boys?
Twin boys, bro.
Whoa.
Yeah, look, I'm making a.
Whoa.
Where are they? Can't even show you the picture because of the thing. They're literally the Rotolos. They look exactly the same. They look exactly like Cade and.
And how old are the twins?
8. They turn 8 this month. Yeah. They're doing Jiu Jitsu now as well.
Look, here's my son.
Let me show you this picture. How do I take the screensaver? Oh, bless him, man. Is he heavy into jiu-jitsu?
He doesn't like jiu-jitsu. He likes baseball. Wow.
I mean, they get it from their mum. It's obvious. Like they get the brains from me and the street smarts, but the looks is from their mums. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't like jiu-jitsu.
Really?
He got his kid's black belt. He likes karate.
Okay.
He's got
but he probably got that in 2 weeks.
What's that?
He probably got that in 2 weeks if it's a karate black belt.
No, it took him like 6 years. It's a kid's karate belt.
Yeah, there's this kid, right? And he lives on, like, right on my floor. And every day I see him coming back from karate with his brown belt on. And sorry if you're watching this, his mum. And he walks past me, and every time I'm like, I would smash you, bro. He's only like 10. But I just look at him like, I would smash you, bro. Yeah. Like they get so confident. And to be honest, I only remember him being a white belt a year and a half ago. So I don't know what they've been throwing at him.
Yeah.
Like, but you shouldn't be doing that, man. It's a false confidence.
And,
Come start doing your kata to me. I'll kick
as
you
long as, of course, I would love it if my son fell in love with jiu-jitsu, but as long as he's doing a martial art, he likes striking. So I'm like, okay, my son's a striker. Maybe he'll get into jiu-jitsu later, or maybe he won't. It doesn't matter.
Did you force him into it in the beginning years or no?
I didn't force him into it. But he was like doing it. We did jiu-jitsu when he was like 3 or 4. We do like, passing the guard, mount, arm bar and stuff. And then he got to the point where he's like, Dad, I want to do karate. I don't want to do jiu-jitsu no more.
Okay, nice.
Like, oh.
But we got to be careful because I remember, I took them to jiu-jitsu when they were also 4. And I remember after like 4 months, they were like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And I remember because they were just getting smashed to shit every day. Yeah. They were new. Everyone else was about 7, 8. Like, do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So then I was like, all right, cool. And I didn't take them again. And then a couple of years later, they were like, when are we going back to jiu-jitsu? So then I was like, you're ready.
Yeah.
Like kind of thing. And then ever since then, they've been going and it's because they wanted to do it. But it's a very fine line between forcing someone and making them hate it and then never doing it for the rest of their life. So I had to, even though I really wanted them to do it, I had to kind of be like, nah.
Yeah. There was one day where I decided to put my foot down, and he had been doing karate like 5 years, and this was a couple years ago. And like I said, the most important thing to me is him saying, I love you enthusiastically. You know what I mean? And that's the most important thing. And one day, I'm on my way. I'm about to leave the house to go teach class, a day class. And his mom's sitting there, and the mother-in-law's, they're sitting at the table. And then I came up and I go, listen, he's like 2 weeks away from summer vacation. I said, listen, once summer vacation starts, you're coming to class with me one day a week. You're going to do jiu-jitsu with me. And he goes, oh, Dad, I don't like jiu-jitsu. It's boring. I said, boring? I said, and then I snapped. I go, boring? I go, you know what boring is? Boring is you in your room without your laptop that jiu-jitsu bought for you. Being without your phone that jiu-jitsu got for you. This house that jiu-jitsu got for you. Jiu-jitsu boring? I go, you're going to come with me once a week? He goes, Dad, I don't like it. And then his eyes started fluttering. And we never have like confrontations like this. It's always just happiness and just making him happy and love and just positive vibes always. But then all of a sudden I snap on him because he said jiu-jitsu was boring. Yeah. And I'm like demanding.
I created the best, most fun style of jiu-jitsu ever in the world.
I go,
do you know who I am, man?
You know who's paying for your baseball? Jiu-jitsu's paying for your baseball with the white little league, the expensive little league. And so then I get in my car and I'm like, I'm a little rattled, and I'm driving to class, and I just kept thinking about his eyes that were like fluttering, like because I never do that to him. I never snap on him like that. And so I get to class, and it was a horrible class, and I just couldn't wait to get home. And I just got home, and the first thing I said, forget about everything I say. You don't ever have to do jiu-jitsu. I just want you to be happy, okay? Yeah, I love you. And he says, I love you too, Dad. I go, you don't ever have to do jiu-jitsu, okay? I just want you to be happy. Just do whatever you want. Let's just keep doing baseball and karate, whatever you want. And I didn't want to mess up the I love you back with the enthusiasm. 100%. I go, did I just mess that up?
Yeah.
Is he going to start saying, I love you too, Dad? Yeah. Oh, that would destroy me. Yeah. That would destroy me. And it wasn't too late. I apologized quick enough. Yeah. And then we're still, the I love yous are the most important thing. Yeah. And when he's playing baseball, the second most important thing to me, I didn't want to ruin this, when we, white little league, like parents actually watch their kids practice. You know what I mean? Mexican Little League, when I was growing up, my parents, my dad, who knew who my dad was, and my mom was at work. Yeah. There was no parents watching Mexican Little League. You know what I mean? Yeah, white Little League, all the parents are there. And if you don't go watch your kid practice, you're a piece of shit. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But the second most, my second favorite thing that he does is when he's on the field, he could be like 50 yards away. He's always making sure that I'm watching. He's like waving, and then I have to wave back to make sure that so that he knows I'm watching. Yeah. It's very important that I'm like looking at him.
And I love
that's
the beautiful thing. I love and like you were saying about that whole eye fluttering thing, and why what happened to us needed to happen so we could be a version to them that we never had. Yes. Like I remember I went to the gym this was like 3 weeks ago. I went to the gym, took my pre-workout, my balls were vibrating. I was ready to go, dude. And then my wife sent me a video. They were at a friend's birthday party and they had just gone home and they were doing this skiing kind of thing. And I watched the video and I was like, I'm not going to the gym. I literally drove straight back home to play and hang out with them.
Yeah.
Like just seeing them made my heart melt so much that I was like, even though I'm vibrating, it hurts that I shouldn't be right now because of this pre-workout.
Yeah.
I should go and burn it off. But I went straight home and it's just like, you can't buy that. You just can't.
The pictures of your kid are so annoying to your friends. Like, you go, look at this picture of my son. It's a baby. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know, but
it's
so different.
You don't
if it's yours,
Yeah.
it's like the picture. I'm a big cat lover.
Yeah.
And the
Me too.
pictures of my cat, I love my cats.
Yeah.
Like,
me too. I got 2 cats.
So much.
Yeah.
I'm in love with my cats. And I have 3 of them and they're all so different. We all have different routines. We all do different things together. We all cuddle differently. Everyone.
I would have thought this episode would have been me and Eddie Bravo showing pictures of our cats and our kids to each other.
So, but back to pictures of your kid, like when I had the rematch with Royler Gracie at Metamoris, my son was 2 at the time. And he didn't go. He stayed with his aunt. He didn't, we didn't bring him. He was like 1.5. And, but I knew how powerful his image was. And I wanted to use that. I used it strategically for the match. Because right before I walked out, I FaceTimed him and we talked a little bit. I'm like, I'm going to go kill for this motherfucker.
Exactly.
I used it as like a warm up and to get me going. It's like, I got to do it for him because there's so much pressure, but all the 10th Planet schools around the world, they're all counting. Like if I would have went out there and got fucking decimated, which could have easily happened, if me and Royler rolled 10 times, he would catch me a couple times. I'd catch him a couple times. We'd have a couple stalemates. Like it could go either way. It could go either way. And I'm like, damn, I hope it isn't one of those matches where he just fucks me up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's so much pressure. Like there's been, the first match, which happened 11 years prior, everyone was saying that was a fluke. You got lucky. That was a fluke. So is he going to prove that was a fluke and just erase all that shit? Not only does he prove that was a fluke, but then he fucks me up in this match.
Yeah.
And then I got all my black belts and my head instructors all over the world relying on me. They had my back and they're saying, no, it wasn't a fluke. You know what I mean? Their business is relying on it. My family's there. My friends are there. My mom's there. My wife's there. Everybody's there. Like so much pressure. From just different levels. If I would have got fucked up, I might not even be here right now. If he would have just came out and just footlocked me really quick or something. But I just blocked everything out. I go, dude, I can't be thinking about everything. I just got to go out there and go after him. I just got to just focus on that and hopefully he doesn't tap me, And
that's what happens though. When you've got that kind of motivation, bro, when you see that FaceTime call, it's like, I'm king of the world.
Oh
dude.
yeah. I did it for him. I'm like, I gotta go out there and at least give it my all. Like it could have went either way. Thank God it went my way, but it could have easily gone horribly wrong.
What was a loss of yours that really stuck with you the most?
A what?
A loss.
Jiu-jitsu loss. Probably the biggest one was Leo Vieira when he kicked my ass. That was because I just tapped out Royler 45 minutes prior, and it was like winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But that was part of a tournament. That was the second round, So, and going into that was 2003. Going into that, Leo Vieira decided to go into the featherweight bracket, the 145. I don't know what that is in kilos, like 63 or something. But the Abu Dhabi prior to that, the one I wasn't in the one prior. It was like 2001. He was at 170. He was at the weight category above it. That was Jean-Jacques' weight category. And Jean-Jacques always kills me. He just destroys me. There's nothing I could do to that guy.
Right.
And then his battle with Leo Vieira, he beat him pretty, I don't know what the score was, like 9-0 or something. He beat him pretty good, but he didn't tap him. So that was worried. I'm like, damn, that guy survived Jean-Jacques. Jean-Jacques was killing everybody. And Jean-Jacques did beat him handily, but the fact that he didn't tap him spooked me. And then I heard he's coming down in weight. I'm like, that motherfucker. I go, I hope he doesn't make weight. I'm like, because I was more worried about him than Royler.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, Leo Vieira, like that dude. Woo. So I went to that Abu Dhabi thinking like I was just going to get taken out in the first round. Like I didn't think I would do anything. I was a brown belt. And, I won the trials, the North American trials, but I didn't like think that I was going to like do anything. These are all black belt world champions. Even the first guy I fought, Gustavo Dantas, he was Nova Union world champion. I'm like, oh man, it's like, this dude's probably gonna fuck me up. I had no expectations, right? So when after that first match, it was the only match. It was the first match of the day, me against Gustavo Dantas. The cameras weren't ready, so it's not on video. There's no video of
and
it.
No one's got it?
There's pictures of it. I have pictures, like stills and stuff, but there's no video, right? So we were the first match, and I beat him. Rear naked choked him.
Nice.
And I thought, oh my God, I can hang with these guys. I go, that guy felt light. Like, I'm like, whoa, I kind of like threw him around. I had him in double underhooks and fucking half plexed him. Nice. Ended up in side control, put him in the truck, and then went and took his back and choked him out. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I can. And then Royler was next. I'm like, what's going to happen there? And then I started to get a little confidence. And then I looked across the mat. And I go, there's Royler, my hero. It was like, I was starstruck. I'm like, oh my God, that's Royler? I'm about to go with that dude? It was like a movie star.
And that was the first time you ever went against him?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
It's like a movie star. I'm like, oh my God. And I just beat Gustavo Dantas. And I'm like, and then I looked at him. And for me, anytime I see someone that isn't as strong as me, or appears to be as strong as me, I feel like you have no chance. Like I only feel like physically. Like if I look at you and I feel like I look stronger than you, I feel like you don't have a shot.
Yeah.
You got to be stronger than me. Like guys that are like yoked, I'm like, that guy's gonna be a problem. That guy's yoked. You know what I mean?
But really though,
no, it's just the mental thing. It's just the mental thing.
Yeah.
So I looked at him and he doesn't look imposing. So I actually looked at him and he had like he fought with a t-shirt on. It was kind of loose. I'm like, he looks weak. Yeah. I go, I think I'm gonna overpower this guy. But I was wrong. As soon as we locked up, he's strong as shit. Yeah. He's one of those skinny dudes who's like a monkey.
Yeah.
And and he was beating me most of the match. He was beating me on points, and I triangled him only because he got aggressive, and he would have won if he would have just stayed in my full guard. But he tried to pass, and him passing led to the sequence where I put him in a triangle. But if he would have just stayed in my full guard, he would have won, and we wouldn't be sitting here.
Wow.
So I beat him, and I can't believe it. I start crying and shit. I go, oh my God, I beat my idol? Like, what the fuck?
It was a changing of the guard, right?
Oh my God, I was crying. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh shit, Leo Vieira's next.
He's next.
He's gonna take all this shit away. He's gonna take all this shit away from me. So everybody's like, Joe Rogan's there. He's freaking out. Everyone's freaking out. But I'm thinking like, damn, all this is like a Twilight Zone. This is all gonna be taken away from me. I already lost to Leo Vieira. I already lost in my head. I'm like, oh shit, we go backstage. Everyone's like, fuck, dude, you know what you did? You just fucking shocked the world. I'm like, yeah. But damn, in my head, I'm like, Leo Vieira's next. Fuck. Meanwhile, Leo Vieira was at the trials 6 months prior, scouting. He was already in. So he just wanted to see what was up. And I won. And not only did I win, but I also won most technical fighter of the night.
Nice.
And he noticed that shit. And he says this in an interview. So for 6 months, he was training for me.
Oh, wow.
So he was worried about me. So he had Lucas Schlett emulate my style. That's why Lucas Schlett plays quarter guard dogfight. Because he emulated my style to prepare Leo for me. So he was preparing for me. And I was scared to death of him, right? So he has his eye on me. Meanwhile, I'm worried as fuck about him. But this guy that he's been training for and prepping for, he just rear naked choked Gustavo Dantas, and then he triangled Royler. So what do you think he's thinking?
Yeah.
He's freaking out.
Yeah. He was like, you weren't doing those in the practices when we were doing it.
No, so he's just like preparing for me, and I just
But he wasn't preparing for that you, though.
I just triangled Hoyler.
He wasn't preparing for that
So when I walked out, like 45 minutes later, it's the next round, right? I wish they would have did it like they do it now. You do 2 matches one day and then 2 matches the next day. That Saturday night, dude, I would have been living like a king.
Yeah.
But my reign only lasted 45 minutes because I walked out, and it's in Sao Paulo, and fucking crowd's going nuts. And Leo Vieira is sitting yoga style, full lotus, and Comprido Maderos is like in his ear. He's like bending over in his ear. So he's going, he's doing like the Hickson breathing. And I'm walking out looking at him. And then Comprido is like in his ear and it's loud. I don't know what he's yelling, something like, this guy's not a machine. He's a man. He's a man. Okay. You can beat this guy. And he's like, I don't know what he's saying. He's like, oh, the what? The shit, the what? That's not the what? He go, the what? You know, and Leo's like, they're like really preparing for me. And I'm walking out going, that is so unnecessary. Like, you're about to fuck me up. I was like going like, yo, you're freaking out for, I already lost.
Yeah.
And this guy's like worried about me. The guy he prepared for just triangled Hoyler. Imagine what he was going through.
Yeah.
He was thinking that I was going to fuck him up. And I'm out there like just listless, no confidence, going, there's no way I could tap this guy if Jean-Jacques can't tap him. There's no way. Because Jean-Jacques just wrecks me every time we roll. So, you know, he went out there and beat the shit out of me. You know, I think if they would have, they don't count points the first half of the match. If they would have, it would have been like 28-0 or something like that. He passed my guard over and over. But the reason he passed my guard over and over,
because you were scared to
because he would pass, and then as soon as I tried to recover, he knew I'd recover and get like a clinch. So then he would back off, and then he would pass again, and then he would back off, and then he passed again. Then he mounted me and had me in an arm triangle, and my head was turning purple. You could say my head was fucking.
That's when
purple.
You were doing the breathing.
No. So yeah, totally. My head's he's about to tap me, but again, as soon as he feels any kind of resistance, he'll back off.
Yeah.
So if he would have just held on 3 more seconds, my head would have exploded. It would have been like a zit, just poof. My head was purple. So he lets go, he stands up, and then I stand up. I'm half out, but I'm pretending like I'm fine. And I'm like gonna shoot on him. Meanwhile, I'm going, oh my God, I almost died. And I'm like pretending. I'm like,
that's where all the conspiracies started, bro. It was that one move that started it all up in his head.
Yeah, like it reset my brain.
Oh shit.
And then like the last 2 minutes, I snapped out of it. I said, you know what? This guy's not even trying to finish me. He's like, he's up on so many points. I go, I got to give it my all the last 2 minutes. And then he passed my guard again on my left side. He figured out to pass on my weak side. Everybody was going this way, and that's my game. He goes, I'm going to go the other way. He figured that. He was the first one to figure that out. Jean-Jacques figured that out too. The way you beat me is you pass to my weak side. If I invite you,
write that down.
I invite you to the right, no shield, and I'll give you the underhook. Everybody takes that deal. They're like, are you for real? You're going to, I'm not going to have to deal with the shield. And you're going to give me the underhook. I go, yeah, that's the deal. But Leo Vieira's the first one that never took the deal. He goes, no, we're going to your weak side. And half guard on that other side, I'm like a fucking white belt. And he got side control, and I go, I'm out. Like all of a sudden, I snapped out of it, and I go, I got to go after him. I got to give it all I have. So I did and you can see this on video. I do a shrimp to recover, and I pop my rib. Boom. And I'm like, oh shit. And then at that point I go, something's wrong. Something's up with my ribs. Something's up. So at that point I go, I'm just going to survive and not tap. If I could not tap, I'm good. But I was really depressed after that. I thought nobody would even talk about the Hoyler match because, you know, right after that, I got crushed. So everyone's saying, oh, you got lucky with Hoyler. Look at Leo Vieira exposed him. That was just luck. So, and I was depressed, man. On the flight back, I was like, fuck. It was like the Twilight Zone. I won this. It's like winning the Super Bowl. And then you're celebrating, you're popping champagne, and they go, yo, you got to play another game. Well, we just won the Super Bowl. You got to play another game.
Just give me that ring back. Kind of thing.
So I was supposed to fight for third. I was going to fight Soka for third. But that next morning, I woke up and I wanted to see how my rib felt the next morning. I woke up at 6 a.m. My rib was still fucked up. So I bowed out, and then they brought Hoyler back in. So Hoyler won third. I beat him. I triangled him, but he won third because I couldn't continue. So they put him in and he beat Soka.
The brain is a weird thing, right? That 2 hours before, you were the happiest you've ever been because of the 2 wins that you had.
Yeah.
And then just after that match, you were like, fuck those wins. They mean nothing. Like, you were just, it's weird how we do that, right?
Yeah. 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 But the crazy thing was, on the internet, it was before social media. Everybody was on the underground, MMA.tv. Everybody that was into Jiu Jitsu and MMA was on the underground. And there were, people they were talking about the Hoyler match more than the Leo Vieira match. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn. Every now and then they would go like, dude, no matter what, he tapped out Hoyler. You can't ever take that away. And they were showing the highlights and people were clipping videos. And then there'd be guys, what about Leo Vieira? He fucked his ass up. What about there was always a guy coming in with the Leo Vieira thing. And I'm like, oh, that one hurt.
Yeah.
I did Jiu Jitsu Instructional in a hologram form. It's like the high hologram. So
as in you're there in the room as a hologram.
Like
when Snoop came on the thing. When Tupac came on the Coachella.
Yeah. So
wow.
There's a studio in Atlanta. It's called Soapbox.
Yeah.
And you download the app and you get the meta glasses. You know what augmented reality is?
Yeah, of course.
Virtual reality.
It's like here, but not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Virtual reality. You put on the glasses. You're in another world. Augmented reality, you put the glasses on, you see everything here, but Metallica is playing right in your living room.
Wow.
Or a stand-up comedian is here.
Yeah.
With your glasses. So Soapbox, they do music, they want to do everything, comedy, anything. And my band, we did a little acoustic set, so it's in a hologram. So if you download the Soapbox app, and then I don't know what it is, a month you pay, you could have people performing in your living room.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And first we did the music version of that. Then I went back and did a jiu-jitsu. Like I did a jiu-jitsu instructional. But so you're going to put on the augmented.
It's like total recall, man. We're
so
in the
you
future,
could just, it's like, you put on the glasses, it would be here in the studio, but it would look like I'm teaching jiu-jitsu and you're right here on the floor. So we did that, and I wore black socks. I realized, like, damn, because at first I'm walking around the studio, it's like a big green screen thing, and I didn't want to get my feet all dirty, and then when we videotape, my feet are going to be all black and shit. So I go, I'll keep my socks on until we're ready to roll, and then I'll take them off.
Oh, shit.
And I never took them off. I'll go, you know what?
Dude, that's going to go viral. And you know that people are going to clip that and
There's
be like,
something to
look
it.
what he's
There's
doing.
Something to it. There's something to it.
Yeah, I fail to believe you didn't know exactly what you were doing when you had those black socks on. You are way too smart, Eddie.
No.
Eddie, you are way too smart. You know exactly what you were doing. All right, we'll say that you didn't, but that is amazing. And I need some black socks as well, I think. Let's talk about something that I'm really interested in, which I'm sure you've spoken about a lot. But why did you decide to go against the grain and open 10th Planet? Because it wasn't just the community and the vibe, right? Because, there's a joke going around that, I guess, to kind of put it in a way that makes sense would be the 10th Planet guys are like the surfers, right? Surfer dudes, cool, up for a good time, kind of, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where the other, they're very tradition, strict, kind of thing. Is that something that you planned on doing when you shifted the other way?
No, you know what? I never planned on having a jiu-jitsu school at all. Like even when I was a brown belt and all the way up to brown belt, I never planned on having a school. I never thought anybody would want to learn jiu-jitsu from a Mexican. Because back in the 90s, there had to be Brazilian.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Your instructor had to be Brazilian. If you had like a white American instructor, you weren't getting the real shit. Yeah. You want a guy with a thick ass accent, eating acai all day. You want Brazilian, right? So I never thought, like, I had actually gotten offered a job as a brown belt to teach at a boxing gym called the Bomb Squad, which eventually ended up being the birth of 10th Planet. But I turned down the job initially. So I hit a guy, it was in my neighborhood, Bomb Squad, little dirty boxing gym. They go, you want to teach the jiu-jitsu program here? I'm like, dude, that would be a waste of time.
Yeah.
Like, who's going to want, we got We got the Machados here. We had a Hickson at the time, Kaiki. We have all these Brazilians. Like there would be nobody here. There would be, and so I turned it down and said, thank you, but no, thank you. And then, and at that point, even as a brown belt, I wasn't planning on having a school at all. I was trying to make it in the entertainment business. I was trying to get a record deal. I was trying to, and I was also working for, during my training camp, for ADCC 2003, I was actually working as a writer on The Man Show. It's, wow. The Man Show was on Comedy Central. And that's when Joe Rogan and Doug Stanhope took over for Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla. Comedy Central wanted to keep it going. They split. They go, we're going to keep it going again, new hosts. And then they brought Joe Rogan in. And Joe Rogan made them hire me as a writer. They didn't want to hire me. He made them. And he demanded it. And they didn't like it. They didn't like me. They go, we'll hire him if that's what it fucking takes. If that's what it, so it was that kind of attitude. They go, oh, look at it. Joe's a little bitch. So Joe said, he's one of my writers. All right. So, and for me, it was just like, oh, this is a, every job I had up until that point was just a job until I got a record deal. And before that, I had worked as a strip club DJ for 10 years. For 10 years. So the strip club DJ job was the perfect job for a guy trying to make it in the music business. No energy, you're air-conditioned club, you get access to a lot of music. On the mic,
please welcome Cinnamon to the stage.
Yeah. All right, put those hands together for Candy.
Candy,
Yeah, that's what I did. So I quit that for the Comedy Central job, but it sucked. So while I was training for 2003 Abu Dhabi, I was like, fuck, I fucked up. I shouldn't have quit my strip club DJ job because these people at Comedy Central hate me. They couldn't stand me. They treated me like shit from day one because Joe made them hire me. So they treated me like shit. And I'm like, damn. I thought,
like, we're going to make this as difficult as possible for him, so he just leaves.
Oh, yeah. Put it this way. After the first fucking day, like they treated me and Joe like shit. Because once Joe signed, they kissed his ass, but once he signed the contract, they go, we own you. So they were fucking dicks to Joe too. And all our ideas, they go, we're not going to use any of you guys' ideas. We wrote like 35 sketches before that. Wow. And they didn't even go, no, you're going to write some new shit. We're not going to use none of that. All right. And then after that first day, me and Joe like, dude, they fucking us. First day.
There's nothing you can do because you've already
signed. So then Joe said, So Joe told him, okay, we can't write here. We can't write at these studios. We have all our ideas are when we're relaxed at home, we're going to work at home. And they go, get the fuck out of here. So they paid me. The only time I went to the studio was when we shot the show live. And they just ignored me while we shot the show. Like I was there, but they were paying me. I was just like, they got to pay. Joe made them hire me. So while I was training for Abu Dhabi, I writing sketches at home. Writing sketches and training and going, fuck, man, this show's going to get canceled eventually. They hate me. I fucked up strip club. I told the strip club, like, fuck you, I'm going to blow up. I thought me and Joe would start making movies, and then I put my music in the movie, on the soundtrack. That's how I'm going to get my music.
Game plan all set out.
That's how I got through the comedy. Like, shit. And it didn't work out that way. And then I knew, like, holy shit, I was depressed, man. While I was training for 2003 Abu Dhabi, that whole story I told you with Hoy the Gracie and Leo Vieira, that whole training camp was depression. Going, I'm 32 years old. What the fuck am I going to do? And I go, at least I have this trip to Sao Paulo, a free trip. I'm probably going to get killed, but it's my last trip. It's a free trip. I'm going to enjoy myself. But when I get back, fuck, dude, like, I'm gonna be unemployed and I'm going to have nothing. I fucked up. I shouldn't have quit the strip club job. God damn it. And I was really depressed. And I'm not a suicidal person, and I never thought about suicide, but I understood why people do it. Like, damn, I get it. If I had a weak mind, if I had a weak mind and I'm 32 and I have nothing, I was worried. But when I got back from Sao Paulo, my friends were saying, dude, you got to start teaching jujitsu. You got some fire going on. You got a little juice. And I'm like, the momentum, So I was like, shit. And they're like, quit your fucking job and start take that job at the bomb squad. I went back to the bomb squad. I go, is the job offer still good? He goes, hell yeah, come through. And then Jean-Jacques gave me my black belt like right when I landed.
Nice.
You know, my first class, he took his black belt off and put it around my waist. So now I'm a black belt, got a little juice from the Hoyler thing, got my ass kicked by Leo Vieira, but I still had a little juice. And
there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
So I called Joe. I go, Joe, I'm gonna have to quit. And he understood. He knew how depressed I was. I go, you know what? I'd rather be broke teaching jiu-jitsu than have to deal with this fucking Comedy Central bullshit. So I quit. I walked off the show and got on the underground. Said, hey, I'm gonna start teaching at the Bomb Squad. You know, my first day was the first Thursday of June in 2003, and 18 people showed up. And I was like, fuck, wow. 18. It was all like the rejects from all the other schools.
But that's
all
lot,
the people
though.
that were like not satisfied with like Beverly Hills Jiu Jitsu or like someone at Hickson School and someone at, you know, Johnny Machado. Yeah. I was getting to a Kaiki School. Just the guys that were unhappy, they showed up to my gym. It was 18 people and I was blown away. And those early days were rough trying to pay the bills and all that shit. But, you know, Joe helped me. You know, Joe, nice. I mean, I quit the job that was giving him money. And then I quit the job that he got for me, and he fucking yelled at them, made them. It was like, that's a whole nother story. He made them hire me. And he supported me, man. He really did. Without him, I wouldn't have made it. I owe Joe so much, man. I had hernia surgery. I needed a hernia surgery in the very beginning, the first year of jiu-jitsu. I got a hernia, and I didn't have any medical or anything. He paid for all that shit cash, you know. And I'll never forget that. I always have Joe's back, you know. No matter what, we've butted heads over the years a few times. You know what I mean? But he's my brother. I love him to death. I owe him so much.
The bond is strong, even though when when the core bond is there. Even though you will butt heads sometimes, you know exactly where it's going to end up anyway, bro.
Yeah. You know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And so what is it about? Have you always had that kind of style when it comes to your jiu-jitsu? Or was there a specific moment, you know, with the rubber guards and all that stuff where you were like...
All the twister stuff comes from wrestling. I wrestled 2 years in high school, and I sucked. I was horrible. I had one takedown in 2 years. I was afraid to shoot. I just wanted my opponent to shoot. So I had a good sprawl and a good front headlock. But I learned the twister I was a freshman in high school, and Alex Nicochia was a junior, and Jesse Barrios was a senior, and they were on the wrestling team. And in wrestling, leg riding is like a unorthodox style. Like not everybody leg rides. There's only like per wrestling squad, like maybe 2 dudes, 3 dudes. And it's usually the weak guys, the guys with weak upper bodies. They rely on their legs. And if you're flexible, you rely on your legs more. And I was never an athlete. I'm super slow, have zero explosion. I suck at athletics. I'm very unathletic. So when it was time to lift weights during wrestling practice, I would always like sneak out, you know, on the side of the building and like skip. I hated lifting weights. And so Alex Nicochia and Jesse Barrios, they took me under their wing and go, you know what, we got to help this kid. He goes, you got a leg ride. That's your only hope. So they showed me the twister. Back then it was called the guillotine, and it's still called the guillotine. But when I got to jiu-jitsu, there was already a guillotine. So Jean-Jacques would just call it the twister. They called it and it was always the guillotine to me. It's like the wrestler's guillotine. But Hagen and Jean-Jacques would call it the twister, and I hated the twister. But then it stuck after a while, and then they started calling me the twister and shit. But so that's where that came from. So when I started jiu-jitsu, I try to incorporate that. I go, I have a cool wrestling move, and let's see if it works on these jiu-jitsu guys. So that's where that started. As far as the rubber guard goes, that just came from always playing high guard And in the gi, it's easy to play high guard because you got pants on and your legs stick.
Yeah.
But then once I started training no gi, I was always like not into the gi. The only reason I was training in the gi is because that's all there was. There was just if you wanted to learn jiu-jitsu, you got to put a gi on.
Yeah.
But I was always the no gi guy in class. Like, at the end, I go, Jean-Jacques, is it cool? Can we do no gi stuff? Because I got into jiu-jitsu because of the UFC. And the only one who wore a gi in the UFC was Hoist. But everyone else wore no gi. So I was like, we got to practice no gi. You know what I mean? Because the UFC got me into jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu didn't get me into the UFC. It was the other way around. So even as a white belt, I'm like, why are we playing tug of war with this jacket? Like they don't do that in the UFC. So I already thought that was a problem. I go, this is not good. Like relying on grabbing sleeves and collars and playing tug of war and grabbing pants. I thought, and in my goal was to always make it in music. But my backup plan, I thought, damn, if I don't make it in music, maybe I'll do MMA because I didn't want to have a regular job. I knew I couldn't wake up at 5:30 in the morning and swing a hammer. I knew that. I already knew that. I tried manual labor jobs. I used to cut grass like a real Mexican. I cut grass for a while, and that didn't work out. I was a roofer for a week. I'm like, fuck that. You don't have any energy to practice to go to band practice. So the ultimate job for a musician was a job that required no energy, like working at a record store. You're just sitting there all day. And my dream job as a wannabe rock star was to work in a gas station and just sit there and just like $10 on pump 8, $20 on pump 3, and just sit there all day and just conserve your energy and save it for rehearsal. That was the dream job. But so I thought, okay, I'm going to make it in music. I totally thought I was, but the 1% chance that I don't, I'm not going to go back to regular manual labor. There's no way I'm going to do that shit. I'll do MMA though. I didn't want to, but if my back was against the wall and it was between that and roofing, I would do MMA. So I started, trying to make my jiu-jitsu as MMA ready as possible. So I'd work no gi as much as possible. I tried not to rely so much on the collars and the sleeve control because I knew that wasn't going to help at all.
So you were doing that during gi, even while you were wearing a gi?
I was trying to do overhook. And plus, Jean-Jacques always had an overhook game because he doesn't have fingers on his left hand. So he was forced to always use an overhook, which became a blessing in disguise. Because once he went to Abu Dhabi that first year, he fucked everybody up. He was the master. Jean-Jacques was the first master of Abu Dhabi. Everybody was lost. Everybody was lost. When it came to submissions, they didn't know how to, because the gi guys knew how to submit. They were about submission and passing, but they didn't have the sleeves and the collars. They can pass and they can submit, but without the sleeves and collars, it wasn't that good. And then the wrestlers were used to controlling bodies without clothes, no gi, but they didn't know how to pass and they didn't know how to submit. So there's a bunch of stalemates. Those early Abu Dhabis were atrocious. There were long-ass matches with nothing going on. The wrestlers didn't know how to pass the guard, and the jiu-jitsu guys, they were doing no gi, and they didn't have a collar and a sleeve. There was a couple good matches, like Ricardo Laborio had an amazing match. Every now and then you'd see an amazing match.
Generally
it was boring. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Jean-Jacques shows up and submits everybody and wins gold. And nobody knew, like, how the fuck did Jean-Jacques do that? Is because the overhook game. He was playing no gi with his left arm the whole time. The whole time. So when he went no gi, he was playing, his left arm was, he was more prepared for no gi than any other Brazilian. That's why he stood apart. He stood apart from all of them. He went out there and just wrecked pulled guard on everybody, he didn't take anybody down. He pulled guard, swept everybody, took their back, took arms, just wrecked everybody. And he's the first ADCC legend. I mean, when it comes to like submitting people, he's the man. He was the man. Then Marcelo Garcia came next, and then like Rafa Mendes, and then later on Gordon Ryan. But if you had the Mount Rushmore, Jean-Jacques of ADCC, Jean-Jacques 1,000,000%. He was the first one. Marcelo Garcia was the second one, and by one I mean the one that goes out there and submits everybody. Submission, not winning by points. Submitting. Marcelo was the second one. It was Jean-Jacques, Marcelo, and then like Rafa Mendes and Cobrina too. You could put him in there. And then like later would be like, you know, Gordon. But all those guys have one thing in common. They all pull guard. All the legends pull guard.
Bro, it's crazy. And I think also something I wanted to ask you as well, because I've kind of got the same mind of you, because where you have the music, I've always been super creative. So I find with all my friends who are creative, they can't do this job thing. They'd rather just jump off a building.
Yeah.
They just can't.
Yeah,
I dress like this when if I'm going to a palace, dude. Like I'm not wearing a shirt or a tie.
Yeah.
And I just can't. I feel like I'm dying inside.
Yeah.
How much do you think that the music had a part in you thinking, I just can't do this?
Yeah, it had everything to do with that.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. When I was 8, I saw Kiss on, they did a made-for-TV movie called Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park, and I'm 8 years old, and I saw all those screaming fans. I'm like, I want that.
Have to do that. Yeah.
I want that. You know what I mean? It all just comes from, you know, not having a father, you know, and lacking in the love department.
Yeah.
And, you know, most wannabe rock stars have a fucked up childhood, a loveless childhood. You know, my mom was always working. You know, she always provided for us, always made sure we had
But
food.
you didn't get that emotional side, right? That you were looking for.
Yeah. I was on the streets, you know, from the time I was like 11, 12, I was on the streets.
I'm the same. My mom had to be my mom and my dad. So I lost that kind of motherly, baby, and that, because she had to be the disciplinary. And I got whooped. Like, so I kind of missed both.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Just by that, because I mean, bless her, she had to do what she had to do. She was raising 3 kids in a new country. So she had to turn into Godzilla. But so it's a weird one.
Same thing. My mom was like so stressed trying to pay rent and working. She looked forward. She would be happy if she worked Saturday overtime. Oh my God, she worked overtime. My mom was a workhorse, but me and my brother, we were on the streets. There was, you know, we were. You know, we had to steal to eat. You know, we figured it out. We were hustling on the streets.
But I find that kind of lifestyle prepares you and teaches you how to code switch so much better than people who had that kind of structure. Because you put me in any situation, whether it be with Arabs, with Latinos, with Russians, with whatever, young, old, and I can blend in quick.
Yeah.
And it's because I was in that situation where I was everywhere.
Yeah.
That I knew as a protection and a survival mode, how I needed to be in this area.
Yeah.
And how I needed to act in that area. Yeah. And how I needed to be around those people and how do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of appreciate having to learn that way.
Yeah. Looking back is a blessing.
Looking back, at the time it's not great.
Yeah.
But looking back, it's like, wow, that turned me into a chameleon.
Yeah.
Like you could literally put me anywhere. How wild is it now at this age when you say the words, I'm 32 and I've got nothing? Like, do you not think back and think, Eddie, you're 32. Like at the time, it seems like the end of the world, right?
Yeah.
But when you look back now, you're like, motherfucker, you had another 50 years after that, dude. Left. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's weird.
When I turned 30, I was like, man, like depressed. Like, oh my God, my 20s are gone. I'll never be in my 20s again. It's over. And I still don't have a record deal. I thought I'd be ruling the music business in my 20s. And like, damn, I'm 30 now and still no record deal in sight. Fuck.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
No.
Meanwhile, here we are 25 years later.
and it's just as it should be, right?
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's weird how kind of life tends to jump back onto the road when it needs to.
Yeah, I wouldn't change anything.
Right.
My son wouldn't be my son if anything went different. So I'd take, you know, all the hardships of, you know, childhood, which really weren't that bad looking back at it.
Looking back at
it wasn't
that
bad. Like, but when you're a kid, you think it's horrible. You know, my stepdad was you know, wasn't very nice. And you know, but it's funny now. You look back like, oh my God, I thought it was so horrible. But there's people with have it way worse. You know, 100%. I didn't grow up in Liberia, you know what I mean, on the streets as a 5-year-old kid with a machine gun, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's
Sierra
it's way
Leone
worse
and stuff, kidnapped and becoming a child soldier.
Yeah, yeah.
I say that to people all the time. And like when my friends are telling me their problems, I'm like,
yeah.
Dude, do me a favor. Don't look at another country. Just go knock 4 doors down and look at his life. You only have to look over the fence to realize how much shitter it could be.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as you got your health and your family.
Yeah, that's it.
It's good.
Yeah.
You know, even my friends that are in the UK and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, you know, I'm broke and stuff. I'm like, move to Dubai. They'd be like, yeah, I'll be broke. I'll be like, be broke in the sun with the beach.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least you'll be getting vitamin D and you'll be going to the beach. You'll still be broke, but you'll be happy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, this is not a joke. Like, this is your life, dude.
Yeah.
Like, fix it.
Yeah.
Like, you see an issue, fix it, dude.
Yeah.
You know? How dope is the seminar going to be here?
10th Planet Dubai, you know, run by Gabriel Twister.
The Twister.
He was he was
shout out Gabriel. I think he's here somewhere.
Gabriel's here.
Yeah.
When he was 15, he came from Brazil and started training with Jean-Jacques, and Jean-Jacques told me, take him under your wing, show him all your crazy stuff. So I showed him rubber guard. I showed him, it was the beginnings of rubber guard. It wasn't, it was very early stages of rubber guard. But he really got into all the truck and twister stuff. And even back then, he loved calling himself the little twister. You know, they called me a twister. So I had this little 15-year-old Brazilian kid that I'm showing all my stuff to. And here we are 30 years later, and he's got more truck submissions in competition against black belts than anybody in the world.
Wow.
You know, he's the #1 twister master, and he's here at 10th Planet Dubai. We're going to do a seminar tomorrow, Saturday, 11 to 1, and then Sunday, 11 to 1.
Sick. And it's picking up huge here because a lot of people are talking about 10th Planet.
Yeah, yeah, because of Gabriel. Gabriel is like, he's going out there and competing, and he's putting everybody in trucks. And I don't think twisters are legal in the gi. Are they legal in the gi, Gabriel? But Castleizers are. So that's you know, that's nice. in the truck system. And I don't know, he's probably tapped out at least 30 black belts in the truck. You know, he's a truck master.
Who went to CGI from the 10th Planet team? This time around.
Ryan Aiken, PJ Barch, Kyle Bain, Alan Sanchez, and Gio Martinez.
Nice. Yeah. They did pretty well. That was a weird final.
Yeah, you know, the weird thing about it was, like, if there was a match going on as a coach, if one of my guys got beat, I would know who the next guy is going to go against, right? Because he's going to stay because he just beat my guy. So then I would pick the guy accordingly, right? But if there were constant draws, you wouldn't know who the next guy coming out was. So we were down to 2 guys, a draw, and we were down to our 2 guys, Kyle Bain, our big guy, and Gio Martinez, our little guy. Our big guy and little guy last. And I didn't know who their last 2 guys were, how they were going to come out. And so their biggest guy comes out next, and then our Gio comes out, littlest guy. So that matchup, if we would have had Kyle coming out and going against the big guy, and Gio would have went against Kenta, shit would have been different.
Story.
Yeah.
I kind of liked that yesterday about the Quintet. I mean, because we had a lot of friends that were competing in that. One of them was Haysam in the Sakuraba team, tall black guy, and then Little Mido, the Egyptian, who was in the Nogueira team.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to actually see them kind of going against each other at that time, but just seeing Mido when he was going against the Bang Tao team, the crowd was just like, even though the weight difference was crazy, he had the whole place just chanting his name. And I thought that was just beautiful, dude. It's like, that's what I kind of liked about the whole, you don't know who you're going to face.
Yeah.
Because even though it could be wildly, unfair, it's still cool to watch.
Yeah.
You know, and his match actually helped them to win because he eliminated that guy that took someone else out, man.
Yeah.
So it was really cool, man. And I'm looking forward to a lot more of that's happening.
Hell yeah.
I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of quintets now here.
Hopefully we could bring EBI and Combat Jiu Jitsu Worlds to Dubai. You know what I mean? That is something that I'm very interested in.
Is that something that you're talking about now or not yet?
I'm talking about it with myself and on here. You know what I mean?
Going.
Yeah,
but a couple of people.
You know, it would be something that could be happening. It could be.
100%.
You know? Just got to find the right. I just got to, find the right people out here to put it together. That's all.
You found them. It's all right. we got it. We got it done. Eddie, is there anything that you feel like we missed out?
No, I think we're good.
I think we're good on that. Yusuf, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Is there any questions that you have for Eddie?
That's amazing. What do you think was the greatest match yesterday at the Quintet?
Oh.
When you weren't eating popcorn and going to get more popcorn.
Yeah. The PJ Barch match, even though it was a draw, that's my favorite because that's one of my guys.
Of course, yeah. What do you think about the maybe last one?
No, go for it.
Puya, the big guy from Team Nogueira against Nakamura.
The way it ended, Nakamura, the last one with the...
You saw that?
Where he broke his arm?
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
It wasn't broken?
It was broken.
I don't know.
He popped his
either
elbow.
popped
I had no
out
idea
or...
that was even possible.
Can you even pop your elbow? Yeah. Can you pop your elbow out and in?
But
again?
he was fine after. He was fine after.
I don't think he was fine. I think he was
maybe
just...
he got dislocated and they popped it back in, maybe? Something.
You saw that match?
Yes.
That was pretty intense.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was a weird one for me because Nakamura came out already looking broken. Like his knee was messed up. He was like, when you're trying to get hyped and he was wobbling, dude. And I was like, this is not going to work out well at all, dude, for anyone.
Yeah, going against that monster.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Puya, even though he's a big boy, I don't think he finishes as well as he could.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of opportunities to finish in his previous matches.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a big boy to go against, dude.
Yeah.
And he knows what he's doing. And imagine being that small and everything's riding on it.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, it's another day in the office, right?
Hell yeah.
But Eddie, it's been an honor and a privilege. You're welcome back anytime. This is your house.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
Always,
I love Dubai. I'll be back.
Always.
Hopefully we bring EBI back.
Let's do it. Let's have a conversation about it. And I'll point you to the right directions of who we need to talk to. And let's get it done, bro.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much for coming down, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
Boom.